all these sallow, sleep-deprived faces, but their eyes still brim with fiery zeal. Some things never change. It's me. That's what I'm like. Stola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it. Yes. I have no doubt you'll be interested. This research lodge should speak for itself. We are now disseminating forbidden knowledge. Oh boy, Willis now. By the sisters, this is the mark of House Demir. I never even knew such a work existed. Few should. It was sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives, after all. Was, but that means every word within it is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand. I can hardly wait to read it! Think the Demir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to help us building a new mock Atomos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on a Demir project that had even the redoubtable scholars of Starlian were trembling in their sandals? No alchemist of the great work could resist. You are a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big-mouthed simulacrum once we built it? Well, you see. So there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is the day of revelations, indeed. I feel like we can trust Nadana. I feel like Nadana's a trustworthy sort. I think we can share this information. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Oh, I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. Charlin's markets provide the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such liquid, you need go no further than the font of Maya. The ascetics, too tired to try to pronounce that word, of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you would be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition for Reacher to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? We meet back here anon. I'm not really super stoked knowing... Dr. Donna. There is no greater joy than having a new puzzle to ponder. The boy Murad was glad to hear the news of the Foundation. It means a new life for him and his sister. Archon Stoller requested I join you, but of her plans she offered scant detail. Ugh, she's keeping it a surprise. Oh, I forgot to mention, the Font of Maya attracts aggressive wildlife, and you should watch out for them when, you go there next time. My apologies. Well, I wasn't attacked, so I think we're okay. Do you have that flask for me? Yes, I have the magic water. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Stella. Look who I came across. The student seemed in need of diversion. We, in turn, made need of his lance. Right then, now that our little party's assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. We will have need of Matsuya's boat again? Will we have need? Not this time. Once Stolla informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Akyale. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host, shall we? Tis likely not needed with Rashawn along, but I hold on to the map against the chance we might return to the ruins. Okay, so he held on to that. Onto the boat, if you please. We can chat on our way there. And all this time I thought the tales of Alzadal's horde were no more than drunken sailors' fancies. You need not keep your weapons close at hand. The Guardians will not attack if I am present, so I pray you leave them be. We were gonna break him again. The ship is yours to command. Thanks, we set sail at once. Oh my, this is exciting. Alzadal's legacy, to see the truth of a legend with mine own eyes. Aboard to the treasure vault. He laid waste to them ere I could utter a single word. Wait, Estinian broke all the things again? I thought we cleared this place of construct the last time we came through here. 'Twould seem a few stragglers remained. Oh no, Estinian! Poor Vritra, he really should have spoken with Estinian before we left. I shudder to think what we've cost him in terms of construction materials. My god, Estinian!
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
I feel like that's fair.
What is it you're doing now?
This is essentially creation magic, isn't it? Just shy
There's
of it.
something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance.
Okay.
Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Yeah, that first option is dumb because I'm protecting myself. Throws.
Very good. I see you've been paying attention.
I guess I have.
As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences.
Poor familiar.
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Not the Parago! Don't send the Parago through!
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
Not the Parago! They don't deserve this!
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Oh, it's a little bubbly water thing.
Water, water, froth and foam!
Oh, how terrible. How horrible.
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
We must never speak of this ever again. Oh god, it's Nixie. Oh. So embarrassing. I feel bad.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate.
I mean, they did a number on us last time we saw them.
I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve as well.
We're doing the music too.
This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
Man, we really shook him up with that display.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
I do not want to be stabbed. I've already pissed her off once. I don't want to do it again.
And we are glad for it. Let us begin, shall we?
This patch has let you, like, piss off all of your friends.
Nixies, into the void.
Why do they have to rhyme? Okay. I feel like this is gonna be... Every time I come here, it reminds me of that dark portal above the Crystal Tower. The final lash of Adaya's tail as she plunged into the void. Sisters, save me. I will never see Shola the same way again. Froth and foam indeed. That's so... I started to picture Shola as a little girl. Easier to believe she sprang fully formed from one of Master Matoya's cauldrons. We need to wait for a time to ensure a meaningful result. Be patient and keep watch for any intruders. Okay. Donna's like a grandma. She's so proud of her. Pinch her cheeks. So one of them's gonna come back corrupted, I'm pretty sure.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Oh, yeah. That one's... Oh my god.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Oh, they're using the Nixie to open it.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void!
Ooh. Yikes.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
So wording scales are a go.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent.
Wow.
The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Okay, so we get the scale back at least. Nice.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
So prolonged exposure to high levels of umbral ether will degrade it.
It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
My apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void.
So, wait, does that mean that, like, that world can't be rejoined ever? Like, that's just like, they could never be whole?
You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus.
So does this dialogue not play if you haven't finished the Warring Triad? And also, that's how you pronounce his name? Una Kalhai?
The champions of that ill-fated world use the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether.
So, the people we just saw.
By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
Well, that's a death flag.
But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could, if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Is not a fan of this. Yeah, he's really not a fan of what we're trying to do. I totally understand though. Super risky. Seeing the void stairs firsthand was an experience, but I doubt fear of such creatures as root of reach was hesitation. Once Nadana succeeds in replicating the mock Atomos, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours. To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the void myself. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first. I can respect it, not wanting to throw your life into a void of literal darkness. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? As we saw, the warding scales can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? I guess Sid? Excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energy. Yes. Directly involved. Maybe we can even get Nero. Nero, how did it feel? With an experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Ralger's Reach and commission their best and brightest. And have Nero tell us that he wants nothing to do with us. Oh, free teleport. I will take it.